Queen Letizia finally snapped, and nobody saw it coming.
A woman covered in mud steps forward through a crowd of angry residents. The streets are flooded with grief. Homes have been destroyed, families have lost everything, and standing in front of them are the King and Queen of Spain. Then it happens. Someone throws mud. Another person shouts. The crowd surges forward. Security officers move in. People scream. The king tries to speak. But all eyes suddenly turn toward Queen Letizia. Her face changes. Not the polished royal smile. Not the carefully controlled expression Spain has known for years. Something else. Something raw. Something human. Minutes later, photographs from the town of Piporta would spread around the world. Images of a queen with tears in her eyes and mud on her face. For some people, it was the moment she finally broke. For others, it was the moment she became real. But to understand what happened that day, we need to go much further back. Back before the crown. Back before the palace. Back before Spain ever knew her name. Because Queen Letizia's story has always been a story about pressure. And eventually, pressure changes everything. Before she was Queen Letizia, she was Letizia Ortiz. And if there was one thing she wasn't expected to become, it was a queen. She wasn't born into royalty. She didn't grow up in palaces. She didn't spend her childhood attending aristocratic events. Instead, she came from a middle-class family and built her career through hard work. She became a journalist. A serious one. The kind who chased stories instead of titles. The kind who stood in front of cameras reporting major events. For years, Letizia worked her way up through Spanish television. She gained a reputation for professionalism and intelligence. Many viewers respected her, but nobody imagined she would one day sit on Spain's throne. Then fate intervened. In the early 2000s, Crown Prince Felipe met Letizia. Their relationship developed quietly, almost secretly, and when news of their engagement finally became public, Spain was stunned. Some celebrated it, others were skeptical. After all, Letizia wasn't an aristocrat. She was a journalist. She was divorced, and in some traditional circles, that mattered a lot. The future Queen of Spain was supposed to fit a certain image. Letizia didn't. She challenged expectations simply by existing. From the beginning, critics questioned whether she belonged. Could a commoner become queen? Could a divorced journalist represent centuries of royal tradition? Could she survive life inside one of Europe's most scrutinized monarchies? The pressure started immediately, and it never really stopped. When she married Felipe in 2004, millions watched. The ceremony was magnificent. The future looked bright. But beneath the glamour, Letizia was entering a world unlike anything she had known before. A world with rigid rules, constant scrutiny, and expectations so high that almost nobody could meet them. Every word would be analyzed, every outfit discussed, every expression interpreted, and over time, people began noticing something about Letizia. She liked control, precision, discipline, perfection. Those qualities helped her succeed as a journalist. But inside the royal family, they sometimes created tension. Tension that would eventually become impossible to hide. For years, rumors swirled around the Spanish royal family. Most remained rumors, whispers, speculation. Then came Easter Sunday 2018. And suddenly the world saw something unusual. Something real. The setting seemed harmless enough. The royal family attended Easter Mass at the cathedral in Palma de Mallorca. Photographers gathered outside. Families smiled. Everything appeared normal, until the cameras captured a brief interaction. Queen Sofia, the former queen and mother of King Felipe, appeared to pose for photographs with her granddaughters, Princess Leonor and Infanta Sofia. Then Queen Letizia stepped in, positioning herself between the camera and the children. What followed lasted only seconds. But those seconds exploded across the internet. Videos were replayed millions of times. People analyzed body language frame by frame. Commentators debated what they were seeing. Was Letizia blocking the photograph? Was Sofia being excluded? Was this evidence of family tension? Nobody could fully know what was said. But the images spoke loudly. For many viewers, the encounter revealed cracks beneath the polished royal image. The family appeared uncomfortable, awkward, human. And for Letizia, the reaction was brutal. Some accused her of disrespecting Queen Sofia. Others defended her. They argued she was protecting her daughters, managing a chaotic situation, doing what any mother might do. The truth probably lived somewhere in between. But one thing became clear. The image of perfect royal harmony had been damaged. And once people start looking for cracks, they tend to find more. The Easter incident became one of the defining moments of Letizia's public life. Because it reinforced an idea many already had. That beneath the elegance and discipline was someone constantly fighting to maintain control. Someone determined to protect her family, even when it came at a cost. And the challenges facing the monarchy were only getting bigger. If becoming queen wasn't difficult enough, Letizia inherited a monarchy facing one of the greatest crises in its modern history. For decades, King Juan Carlos had been celebrated. Many Spaniards viewed him as a key figure in the country's democratic transition. He was respected, admired, even beloved. Then the scandals began. Financial controversies, questions about money, investigations, headlines. Public trust started eroding. The institution itself came under pressure. Suddenly the monarchy wasn't just defending individual decisions. It was defending its legitimacy. In 2014, Juan Carlos abdicated. Felipe became king, and Letizia became queen. The timing couldn't have been more difficult. Spain needed stability, trust, renewal, and the new king and queen were expected to provide all three. It was an enormous burden. Felipe worked to rebuild confidence. Letizia supported that effort. Together they attempted to present a modern image of monarchy. Transparent, responsible, focused on public service. But rebuilding trust takes years. And losing trust can happen overnight. Every appearance mattered. Every speech mattered. Every mistake mattered. The pressure became relentless. For Letizia especially, she wasn't simply representing herself. She wasn't even representing her family. She was helping carry the reputation of an entire institution, one already struggling under the weight of past controversies. And then came 2024, a year that would produce one of the most unforgettable moments of her reign. November 2024, Spain was reeling from devastating floods. Entire communities were overwhelmed, lives were lost, homes were destroyed, people felt abandoned, angry, heartbroken. One of the hardest hit locations was Paiporta, a town transformed by disaster. When King Felipe and Queen Letizia arrived, emotions were already running high. Residents weren't interested in ceremony. They wanted answers. Many felt authorities had failed them. As the royal couple walked through the town, tension filled the air. People shouted. Some demanded accountability. Others expressed frustration. Then mud began flying. Images captured the shocking scene. The king and queen covered in mud. Security teams scrambling. Crowds pushing forward. The atmosphere felt volatile. Many expected the visit to end immediately. But something unexpected happened. Letizia stayed. She listened. She spoke with residents. And then came an encounter that would define the day. A young woman named Alicia approached her. Alicia wasn't interested in royal protocol. She spoke from pain, from loss, from frustration, from the emotional devastation surrounding her. Witnesses described a deeply emotional exchange, one that appeared to affect the queen profoundly. As Alicia spoke, Letizia listened. Not as a distant royal, but as a human being confronting another person's suffering. Photographs showed tears in the queen's eyes, mud on her face, emotion she could no longer hide. For years, critics had described Letizia as controlled, reserved, carefully managed. But Paiporta showed something different. Not perfection, not royal distance, vulnerability. And that vulnerability resonated with many people. Some residents remained angry, others appreciated that she stayed, that she listened, that she faced their emotions directly instead of retreating behind palace walls. The images spread worldwide. A queen standing in mud, trying to comfort citizens while carrying the weight of their anger. It became one of the defining images of modern Spain. So did Queen Letizia snap? That depends on what people mean by the word. If snapping means losing control completely, probably not. There was no outburst, no dramatic confrontation, no public meltdown, but something did happen. For a brief moment, the carefully managed image disappeared. The protective wall came down. And people saw emotion, real emotion. For years, Letizia's critics argued she was too controlled. too disciplined, too distant. Yet when Piporta tested her in one of the most difficult public situations imaginable, what emerged wasn't coldness. It was empathy, pain, humanity. That's why the moment became so powerful. Because strength isn't always about remaining perfectly composed. Sometimes strength is staying present when people are angry, listening when criticism hurts, standing there when leaving would be easier. Control can create stability, but too much control creates distance. Piporta revealed a balance between the two. A queen attempting to fulfill her duty while also responding emotionally to human suffering. Whether people admire her or criticize her, that moment offered a glimpse behind the public image. And those glimpses are rare. Especially in modern royalty. For more than 2 decades, Queen Letizia has lived under a microscope. Every smile, every gesture, every rumor, every controversy, examined endlessly. She entered the royal family as an outsider, faced skepticism, survived criticism, endured family tensions, and helped carry a monarchy through one of the most challenging periods in its history. But perhaps none of those moments revealed more than Piporta. Because in the middle of mud, anger, grief, and chaos, the crown suddenly felt secondary. What people saw wasn't just a queen. They saw a person. And whether you view that day as a breaking point, a moment of compassion, or something in between, it reminded the world of a simple truth. The heaviest crowns are often carried by human beings. And sometimes, the moments that define a leader are not the moments when they stand above everyone else, but the moments when they stand among them.